I have a bunch of Bulldock ramen because today I'm going to be testing some viral TikTok ramen recipes and rating them on a scale of 1 to 10. I think this is going to be my favorite way to prepare ramen from now on. If you have spent any amount of time on TikTok, I am sure that you've come across some videos that feature this now very popular and very spicy Bulldock ramen. It is very spicy, but it is very good. I picked out 4 of those viral recipes that I found on TikTok, and I'm going to be trying those for you today. If you have stumbled in for the first time, I am Chloe of the Everhearth Inn, Every Adventurer's online fantasy tavern. Let's get into the video. So I thought a good baseline would be to cook the Bulldock ramen as it tells me to on the package, aka just very basic. We can use that as a baseline and then rate the following recipes on how they elevate or degrade the original basic way to cook it. Here is the original stir-fried spicy Bulldock, and the instructions say to add the noodles to 20 ounces of boiling water and cook for 5 minutes. Here are the noodles prepared as written on the Bulldock ramen packet. Let's give them a try. Delicious, spicy, as expected. I do like a more al dente noodle, but in a sense of instant ramen noodles cooked as they should be on the package, I feel like these are some of the best, like, texture-wise noodles that you can get for instant ramen. They're very thick. I'm going to rate this a 5 out of 10 since it is the baseline for the rest of the video, and we will move on to the first TikTok viral recipe. Just a little update. I'm taking some Pepto-Bismol right now in preparation for the siege that I am about to commit on my stomach. So this first recipe I'm going to call ramen with inclusions. Some of the ingredients include vegetables. I have baby bok choy, oyster mushrooms, and of course some garlic. I also have some scallions and ginger. They also included dumplings in this. This is a recipe using the original spicy ramen. Okay, so I've been sauteing these for about 5 minutes. This looks good. I'm gonna go ahead and plate this and then try it. Here is the plated dish. Look at this. Oh my God. I am pumped. Let me get one of the dumplings. Very good. Significantly less spicy than the just plain ramen, which makes sense because it has cheese and milk in it to help tame the spice. It's definitely got a lot going on, but in a good way. I don't know how I feel about the dumplings in it. They are really good. They're a bit soggy after cooking them in there, and I like to have crispy dumplings. For the taste, it's definitely elevated from the baseline. I think I'd give it a 7. All right, let's move on to the next recipe. This next recipe is actually one that I am most excited for because it contains Kewpie mayo and chili oil. This is one of the recipes that I have seen most often on TikTok. It is the soup ramen recipe, and it actually uses the carbonara version of Bulldock. This is the viral soup ramen that I've been seeing everywhere. I'm going to go ahead and taste test it now. I actually have not ever had the carbonara version of Bulldock before. So this is going to be a new recipe and a new flavor for me as well. Wow, the carbonara noodles definitely have a slightly different texture to them. They're a bit softer. I did cook them for the recommended time, but I think that's just the carbonara noodles. The sauce is incredible. I love the chili oil. In my opinion, this is a bit better of a flavor than the one where I added the milk and the cheese. I think the other one was a bit too cheesy for me. This one's like the perfect amount of cheese and cream. I'm going to give it a 9.5 out of 10. The only reason I'm taking away the 0.5 is because I think I like the other texture of noodle better. I think this is going to be my favorite way to prepare ramen from now on, and I'm definitely going to do it again. This next recipe focuses heavily on cheese and sweet corn. And from my brief research that I did, sweet corn is a relatively popular flavor in Korea. I don't know if anybody else has had this, but there's this like Korean sweet corn ice cream sandwich that is like a sweet corn ice cream on the inside and a sort of waffle cone exterior that looks like a cob of corn. And this is kind of making me crave that. And here is the completed dish. Okay, so minor switch up on the microphone that I'm using. I dropped the microphone and a piece flew off and went somewhere and I cannot find it. So I'm using a backup microphone, but we are going to go ahead and try the sweet corn recipe now. Another really good one. I could just eat the corn cheese on its own. It's already sweet corn, but adding the sugar just kind of elevated it to that next level of sweetness. It was very easy to make. The spiciness is really balanced out. It's not too spicy at all. Yeah, this is very good. 8.5 out of 10. The texture is really nice. The corn in there is really nice. Everything's really good. I'm excited to make this one again as well. Next recipe on my list is going to be a Patreon exclusive. So if you're not a part of the Patreon yet and you're interested in getting access to extended versions of these YouTube videos, then go head over there and check us out. Okay, so this next recipe is, you guessed it, a spring roll recipe. If you actually guessed that, I would be extremely surprised and also be a little suspicious that you're lying, but do let me know in the comments if you correctly predicted that this was going to be a spring roll recipe. I've never actually made spring rolls before, so bear with me on this rice paper as I struggle. The only ingredient inside of the actual spring roll is a little bit of these noodles. Kind of wrap it up. Oh gosh. And then you have this brain looking thing, which I'm gonna make a couple of these and then we will move on to the next step, which involves more cheese. So I have these in front of me. They smell very good. I think it's pretty successful first try, even though I'm not sure I've ever seen a spring roll with ramen and cheese. There's a first for everything. I don't dislike it. It tastes like Bulldock ramen, so there's that. The crispy cheese adds a good texture to the otherwise very mushy experience. I think it's just because I'm used to spring rolls that have like crispy veggies in them, but the rice paper paired with the noodles just kind of made it feel very soggy. The sauce choice of mine on top was top tier. From a taste standpoint, I think I would give it a 6.5. From a texture standpoint, I think I'd give it like a 3.5. I thoroughly enjoyed today. I absolutely loved the carbonara chili oil recipe. I will be making that all the time now. It is so easy. And then the sweet corn recipe. Oh my god. If you like videos like this one, I have another video over here where I cooked a bunch of recipes from the Stardew Valley cookbook. Thank you for watching. You can support us on our other platforms like TikTok, Instagram. We have a Discord, a Patreon, and I will see you after your next quest.